Now let's think through the case where firms are running economic losses in the short run, and let's think through the situation, think through their reaction to that situation. And I've chosen the eggplant market to be the one where farmers are losing money. So here I've got just the initial situation. This is the eggplant market. And I've got this eggplant firm here. And then remember our connection between the market and the firm. Firms can sell all they want at the market price. This is the space. The space to the right is where I've blown up the firm's problem. Otherwise it would be microscopic against the y-axis here. All right. There's always going to be some marginal costs, profit maximizing quantity, if the firm isn't shut down, is going to be where price and marginal cost are just equal. And we'll call that, again, very creatively, Q naught. And then remember, we want to show a case where there's losses. Let's just say, I don't know, there's some new pest and eggplant farmers are having to incur high costs to fight the pest. So we'll draw average total costs that are in a situation where the farmers are going to lose money. All right, we know that at Q naught, average total costs are given or at the level that we can read just off the average total cost function. And notice we've got this familiar by now, I hope, profit rectangle, only now this is loss. And how do we know it's loss? It looks a whole lot like the profit rectangle, but notice price is less than average total cost. So remember the formula for profit was profits equal quantity times price minus ATC. Well, if ATC is bigger than price, then the entity within the parentheses is negative, so quantity is always positive. Oh, now I've just horribly distorted my Q there. There, that's a little bit better. Anyway, quantity is always a positive, so positive times a negative equals a negative, and that's a loss. All right, so that's the short run situation. What's going to happen in the long run? And I'm going to use the long run. For long run, I'll use red this time. Well, at the firm level, they're probably, those farmers are going to harvest this crop. They've planted it, it's growing, it's done. Now they harvest it. Well, the next planting cycle, they're going to say, I don't want to plant eggplant again. I took a bath on eggplant. I lost thousands of dollars. I'm going to plant something else. Oh, those onions are looking good, whatever. And so over time, farmers are going to leave planting eggplant. So we're going to make that same simplifying assumption that each firm's cost structure is the same, no matter how many enter, no matter how many leave. So nothing's going to happen in terms of the cost structure of the single firm, but there's exit because there's a loss. Well, over time, firms exit, and with, let me write exit, long run exit, because of the loss. With each exit, we're counting up market supply by over fewer firms. The market supply curve shifts left. How far is that shift going to have to go? Well, it's going to have to go all the way to the point where the surviving firms are just breaking even. Call that very creatively P1, and we'll just draw a line where enough exit has occurred to bring the market back to a long-run equilibrium at the zero profit point. The reason why, again, it goes back to the zero profit point is that as long as price is below average total cost, firms are going to be doing worse in eggplants than they would do in their next best opportunity. So over time, they're going to leave eggplant farming and go do whatever their next best opportunity is. And that process is going to continue until the surviving eggplant farmers are just breaking even. Now, sometimes we see industry completely disappear. You don't see many typewriter manufacturers anymore because nobody uses a typewriter anymore. So that's a case where, maybe there's one typewriter manufacturer somewhere, but pretty much all of them have exited because losses are not sustainable. I guess I'll go one more page just to show you what the long-run equilibrium looks like. And we've shown the long-run equilibrium, as where the market gets to. But when we start event studies, we start them at a long-run equilibrium, which features firms making zero profits. So, million bushels per year, price dollars per bushel, eggplant, market, eggplant, firm, the key difference, of course, is on the quantity units. These are just bushels per year. And we have this supply demand, the usual shapes. P naught, Q naught. We draw that baby over, P naught, perfectly elastic demand for the firm's product, marginal cost, firm level output, and what the feature of the long-run equilibrium, nobody wants to enter or exit. That only happens where every firm, is breaking even. So price is just equal to average total cost at that magical point. And that's for this screencast and the previous one talked through the dynamics of competitive markets, showing that if firms are making a positive profit in the short run, over the long run there's going to be entry moving the market towards zero profit equilibrium. If firms are running losses, there's going to be exit. With each exit, supply shifts left, raising market price until the survivors are again making zero profit.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.